for the introduction. My name is Ahmed Abdul Wahab, and as mentioned, head of the Turn 8 program. What we provide at Turn 8 is an investment fund and an accelerator. At the same time, I'm also head of the Career Academy, which we just recently launched. It's for entrepreneurs that are interested in starting and scaling a business, and at the same time, corporates that want to get insights on how to develop new innovative business models. It's a pleasure today to be a moderator for today's session. Please help me to welcome our 5 startup entrepreneurs. First, Idriss Rifai from Fetchr. Second is Ataya from Mumzworld. Then Geet, Bhalla from HolidayME. The next is Morrad and Irsane. Please help me to welcome Morrad from Melltoo. Dany El Eid from Pixelbug. Let's start on the left side with Idriss. Could you just very briefly introduce yourself and then focus on the following question? How did you come up with the idea to really change the shipping or the logistical industry? How did you come up with that idea? What was the tipping point where you said, wow, this is a real awesome idea. Now I'm going to put everything that I have and even more on this startup.
So hi everyone. So I'm the CEO of Fetchr. I think I come from the industry. I was in the e-commerce before in my previous job. And I could see that we were not really being taken care of, right, by a couple of logistics players. So we decided to build our own logistics, and there was no aha moment, and you just realize that everything is, that Fetchr is just, it's not what you want to do. I think there is a multiple of moments, right? It's not like you realize on one day that you're doing something great, right? So. First, you have to recognize the needs, and the need here is very local. We were playing in a market where there is just no address system, where cash on delivery is crazy. So therefore, you need to build something that is really local, localized solution. And I think recognizing this is the first step. And then along the way, tons of challenges, and we're still facing that challenges now in scaling the business and across multiple countries. But yeah, it's been a long road.
Thank you. Mona, how was it with you? Mumzworld, very, very interesting startup. If you could just briefly introduce yourself and at the same time as well explain how did you come up with that idea? How did you come up with that idea? I actually went through the process. We have 4 kids, and we always try to come up with some, to identify products for our kids. So please, brief introduction.
So good evening, everyone. 5 years ago, we identified key consumer needs that we felt were missing in this part of the world. The first was access to high quality choice of consumer products for the mother, baby, and child segment. The market is very proliferated, it's very fragmented, so mothers couldn't find the choice that they were seeking. That's the first. The second is prices in this part of the world for baby and child were very high. And with the world becoming a lot more transparent in everyday low prices, mothers more and more were becoming aware of the variances in the prices in the region and around the world. The third is limited, comprehensive information about the product. So mothers are information-hungry consumers. They want information in English, and certainly for the Arabic consumers, they want information in Arabic. And Arabic information in this part of the world was practically non-existent. And last but certainly not least was convenience in accessing products. Some others want products quickly and they want to know where to find them. So we basically launched Mumzworld 5 years ago to solve these very important consumer needs.
Geet, could you briefly introduce yourself and give us a quick download? When did you start your company, and when did you decide that, you know what, I'm going to completely focus on it, stop doing anything else? When was the specific tipping point? You knew it is now. Now it is.
Good evening, everyone. So I think when we started, we were trying to address the holiday market, and we always knew that the hotel market had been cracked, the airline market for flights had been cracked. But what was more complex was being able to crack the holiday market, because it just had so many components. So there was, obviously the hotel and the flights, but there had activities, there were transfers, and there was so many elements of logistics that need to be catered. And there wasn't really any technology platform that kind of brought everything on to one single platform. And there are various complexities, I won't get into that, in terms of addressing it from an internal standpoint and making sure that the customer experience is great. And when we started building this and started being able to consolidate all of this and showcasing it to the customer, we could clearly sense that this is going to meet a very specific requirement that has not been clearly addressed, just given the complexity of what this entire chain for holidays meant. And when we kind of got to that point, we clearly realized that, hey, this is a very big opportunity. And just to give you an example, the Middle East travel market is roughly about $80 billion, and that includes everything: airline travel, hotels, corporate travel, etc. But leisure, comprised about 30% of that segment, and that was obviously a very massive market opportunity. So I think that was the point where we said, hey, we're addressing something, we're cracking something that doesn't really exist. There's a huge market opportunity for it.
Thank you. Morrad, there are many social network platforms existing, classified website existing. How did you come up with the idea, and how did you make it so successful as it is today?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, everybody, and welcome. As you mentioned, when you have an idea, actually you're born with it somehow. I come from a family of 13, and I was the last one. And my mom had to take care of us, and recycling was the main thing. So imagine 13 kids, and we were neither rich nor poor as a family. So I lived from a generation to another, I would say. My oldest brother was 20 years older than I was, and I was one when he was 20. When I reached 10 years old, I wear his jacket that he used to wear back then. So thanks God he was fashionable again, because from the 60s to the 80s I was not out of fashion. So coming from his background, basically, so thanks to my mom, by the way, she actually recycled so many things and started to sell them back home. So I'm from France, but she sold to Algeria, and she built a house with the money that you can imagine recycling stuff. So coming from the idea, so I was born with that almost, okay? So I came to Dubai and I was in love with Dubizel, and I find out that it was so difficult actually to use the platform, and the trust was not there. There was a lot of scam and things going on actually. So what I wanted to do is to build back the trust to the marketplace, and that's how the ideas start to take place. So people wanted to exchange things, but they didn't want to meet. There's 90 different countries, nationality in the country, and we're all different. We bargain differently, we buy differently. So I wanted to fill up the gap and build this marketplace that changed the whole thing around. So you don't need anymore to meet anybody. You can click and buy the items and get the items delivered by our services, and we take care of the whole payments delivery in app. That's how we were able to. So we were able actually to be alive as we are today, fighting with the bigger encounters and stuff like that. And I think that we have a long way to go still.
Thank you. Dany, when you started, we just look back, you started at where you are right now, many things changed. So just tell us what Pixelbug is, but not from a perspective of the process, the change that you went through.
Sure, so thanks for having me, first of all. So yeah, Pixelbug has been through quite a transformative journey over the years. First of all, because we're starting off in augmented and virtual reality, which already at the time, when we're talking 2012, was a novel technology altogether, and we're talking globally, not only in the region. So there was obviously a lot of, there was an educational phase that had to be done on the market, and also to understand ourselves where the biggest appetite was. And so obviously we went through transformations in order to first understand what was the best product, market fit, and also be able to deploy certain solutions for mostly multinational clients. And we're talking the likes of Procter & Gamble, Nestle, Sony, those big multinationals that have an interest in adopting new tech. And so once we realized that the uptake and the trends were mostly around investing in AR and VR, because that's where there would be the biggest computing shift, allowed us to identify a market gap and be able to go all in. So now in 2015, we adjusted our business model in order to be more product oriented. And today, thanks to that change in strategy, we're one of the fortunate few startups globally speaking to be part of the Dubai Future Accelerator program, which was officially launched yesterday, but we've been part of the program since the 18th of last month. And so it's a really incredible initiative by the government, really forward-thinking and visionary from the Dubai government to disrupt themselves and to bring startups from all over the world to really change established models. So yeah.
Thank you. So these are just some questions to get warm up. The topic is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we covered the good. Let's talk about the bad and the ugly in the startup environment. So maybe one of you start with you. What was the biggest mistake that you faced? The biggest mistake you faced, and how did you get over the mistakes?
So I'm going to start by saying there's a lot of bad and ugly. There's probably a lot of ugly. We've made a lot of mistakes. We make mistakes daily. The key is to fail fast, to do a lot, to learn from your mistakes and never repeat the mistakes. I think probably the biggest learning, if you like, where we failed a lot is in hiring. So hiring for a startup environment is always a challenge because you want to get great talent. You want them to work harder than they've ever worked before, get paid less than they've ever been paid before, and learn things that they've never been exposed to. So kind of getting the right talent to fit in the mindset of a startup is always a challenge, and we made a lot of mistakes there. Also for us, we launched Mumzworld as a pioneer in mother, baby, and child e-commerce 5 years ago when the e-commerce was very underdeveloped. That means as an e-commerce, you need a lot of support structure around you to help you succeed. And because that support structure did not exist, we had to invent that support structure. And certainly, as with everything that's really created from scratch, you make a lot of right decisions and you make more wrong decisions.
Thank you. Idriss, what about you? What were the biggest mistakes, the really biggest mistakes that you haven't told anybody, but now it's just between us and the internet, right? So what are the biggest mistakes that you faced? How did you get over it?
Again, I think, so I'll echo it, right? We do a lot of mistakes every day. I think more than, that's just my opinion, I think more than failing fast is just try to see the signals to make sure that you change route. I think that there is a bit of a misconception with regards to failing fast. That it's all about, the ability of a startup to change the business model on a regular basis and to change the product on a regular basis is what makes a startup great, right? So you need to always be listening to clients, customers, to make sure that you don't go to the level where you actually fail, right? So you need to always change and change. Biggest mistake, look, we did tons of mistakes with hiring. I think the biggest mistake for me, because with regards to like, when you start a company, really the resource that you don't have is time. So the one that takes a lot of your time and doesn't lead anywhere is probably your biggest mistake. And for me personally, it was probably when we had an acquisition, a plan for an acquisition before Series A. So like they loved the product and so on. And it took 8 months to go nowhere, right? It took about 30%, 40% of my time. So it means like 2 days in a week, which is a killer, right? And it just led nowhere.
What would you have done?
I wish
that specific example.
Exactly. I wish I'd seen the signals of dealing with a multinational or a corporate, making sure that we were just too small to be acquired. Like it was not making sense, really.
Yeah.
So I should have cut the deal much sooner.
In other words, figuring out in that specific example whether they are really just shopping around or whether they are really serious or not.
You always have a risk of them shopping around, but you have to see like things don't change, right? So if it takes 6 months to get a pilot, it's probably going to take another 2 years to get acquired, and by that time you change one guy and the guy is not interested as a company, right? So it's a big mistake that we did. It took us a long time to recover.
Thank you. Geet, what about you? What are the biggest mistakes that you have faced and how did you get over it?
So I think when we started, like any business, you kind of really start based on intuition. And I think, and that works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't, right? And what we've learned over a period of time, I'm sure colleagues would agree with that, is that your biggest teacher is data, right? And to be able to assess what are users actually doing on your website. Not to say that we did not assess that at all, but we continued with our intuition for a little longer than we should have. So we essentially built a platform allowing for customization online, and customers could just come and build a package by themselves. And everyone who saw it just loved it, right? But no one actually bought, or very few bought. And that's where we realized that, hey, Holiday, for example, is a product which needs a touch point, a manual touch point at a certain level. And that was, the biggest mistake. And then again, like Idriss said, you lose a lot of time, right? So, and time is essentially more precious than money in a situation like that. There are the other common mistakes which I think everyone makes is wrong hires and then just persisting with them and trying to give them more opportunities and so on and so forth. I think, at a certain level, you just need to be a little more cutthroat about it and just, cut your losses and make some wrong hires. So I think these were the two that immediately come to my mind. I mean, the list is frankly endless.
Morrad, if you have the opportunity to redo everything, what would you redo? But specifically, what would you have done differently?
I would basically, what is interesting as a startup, again, you have to realize where we are. We're in the Middle East, we're in Dubai, there's a lot of money, but the money is very tight in a specific area. Okay, so I learned through the journey as a startup that growing at all costs doesn't work in the region, trust me. So we were actually, the biggest mistake I made is to listen to some investors, say, yalla, make it happen, we want to be in Riyadh next day, So you grow. So we were actually spending money very, very fast, and we were growing 300% months on months growth. That's how fast we were growing with the money. But when you go to the investors, they're still risk averse. They're not like gonna back up a startup like in California or Silicon Valley. They want to see a revenue, not only revenue, profit. So my biggest mistake was actually not realizing where I was. I thought that with my energy, power, enthusiasm, I would make it, break it in 8 months I wanted to take on the business. That was my challenge. And I realized it was nothing. So thanks God, I have a very agile company, and I was able to slow down this amazing growth and drain the whole power back into a very lean startup. And we executed, we cut down on the expenses, we went back to the basics and stuff like that, and now we're back again on the revenue, and inshallah, in the next 6 months, we're going to start making profit. So really be careful on just thinking that the money is there and things are going to happen. The biggest mistake is not to be blind by the amount of wealth and money that is it. Still, it's very difficult to close it, so be careful. That's a mistake that I was.
Very good, thank you. Dany, you raised already several rounds of funding. What were the biggest mistakes you did, and how did you get out of it?
In relation to investors?
Yeah, fundraising, exactly.
Fundraising. Well, I'd have to say it's definitely rushing in to it too quickly before having all my ducks in a row, and that's something you learn with experience.
Call about turn 8.
With turn 8, exactly. Branding between parentheses. So, no, but definitely it's true. With turn 8 helped a lot to be able to understand how investors think, which obviously as an entrepreneur, you have a certain mindset, and investors see it from a completely different angle. And so, and there's no right or wrong. The investor is neither right nor wrong, nor is the entrepreneur. It's just understanding the mindset and crafting the story to suit what the investor wants to accomplish and be able to speak in their language.
Just one final question, very, very short answer. What's the personal impact in your life that the startup actually had made? What's the personal impact?
I'd say 15 seconds to each of you on that, please.
You're generous. Normally we give 9 seconds to answer, but it's okay.
The chef is ready to serve food, and I do not want an argument with the chef.
Very quick. What's the personal impact that the startup had in your life?
Whether it's positive or negative, you become the brand ambassador of your company, right? So the frontier between personal life and working life doesn't exist anymore. It takes over, it swallows your whole life, your whole network. So I think that's what it is.
There's no equilibrium. It's a daily balance of priorities.
I have to agree with Idriss here again. I think it just consumes you completely, and every morning you get up, prior to having done the startup, you would kind of think about having tea and getting into your normal morning chores. But when you have a startup, the first thing you want to check is, hey, how did I do yesterday? And what are the numbers? And and it's just continuously consuming.
Yeah, it's very consuming, so it's a full-time job, night and day, especially when you have kids and family. So you have to, really integrate the whole things, but it really affects you and humbles you a lot, because you go to such low level, high level, so it's really a roller coaster, and you become more human, and you talk to a lot more people and reach out a lot of friends as well. It's a good thing about being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, to carry on that point, to me it was really understanding the analogy of how a diamond is formed under intense compression, and I think it's that understanding.
Exactly. Or what I say in the different entrepreneurs have a different timeline. Entrepreneurs have 24 hours plus the night. Thank you very, very much for the for our panel. Please help us in. Thank you very much.
And thanks very much indeed to you, Ahmed Abdul, head of Turn 8 Accelerator.